Okay, we're going to start out by testing our batteries. Set your multimeter to volts at 20. This one is at 20. Some of them will read at 40, but you'll see you have 2000 micro, 200 micro, 200, 1000. You just want to set it to 20. We're going to test both of these batteries. You take your negative test lead and your positive test lead and put them to your negative and positive terminals of your battery. You can see on the multimeter this battery is reading 4.13 volts. That's good. That's a solid charge. Now we're going to test this battery. And this one is reading 3.65, 3.64. That's a low depleted battery. This battery needs to be changed. Set that aside. Now we're going to test the resistance of these two builds. You set your ohm meter to the lowest setting and you zero out your reader by touching the positive to the negative. This is going to tell you what your tare is. Let it settle. Alright, and we're zeroed out at 0.9. Now you take your positive test lead, touch it to the center pin of your atomizer. Some people will do this by using the posts of the atomizer. I find it's easier to just use the center pin. You get to set it down flat. You can do it off of the unit. So just turn it upside down, touch the positive to the center pin, negative to the thread. Watch the multimeter settle. And our multimeter is settled at 1.1. We subtract the 0.9 at which we zeroed, and we get a build rating resistance of 0.2 ohms. Now we're going to go ahead and check this one the same way we did the other one. Positive test lead to the center pin, negative test lead to the thread, and we're going to watch the multimeter settle. And this one is also settled at 1.1. Subtract our 0.90, and we get our zero value, and we get, once again, a 0.2 ohm resistance build. Now, for redundancy's sake, we're going to test everything with a second multimeter. This multimeter also has slightly different settings on it, so this will make things a little bit easier for you if you're using a different multimeter. We're going to start again with DC volts. This one is at 40 instead of 20. This is your range setting. You just want to make sure that you're reading in x.xx. Again, take your positive test lead, put it to the positive terminal of your battery, negative test lead to the negative terminal. We're getting 4.12, 4.11, 4.12. Good solid charge. Test our other battery again. We have 3.63. Again, this battery is depleted, needs to be charged. So now we will set our multimeter to ohms. We're going to go again to the lowest ohm reading. This one is into 400. Zero it out by touching your two test leads together. And we're zeroed out at 0.2. So we're going to test this here, just like we did the other ones. Positive test lead to the center pin, negative test lead to the thread. And we see that our multimeter is settled out at 0.4. Can we see that the multimeter is settled out at 0.4? Alright, we subtract our 0.2 and we once again have a 0.2 build. We're going to test this one the same way. Positive to the center pin, negative to the thread. And our multimeter is settling at 0.4. Once again, 0.2 build. So now we take the information we have gathered. We have a 0.2 ohm resistance build, and we're going to use a 4.1 volt battery. So we punch in 0.2 ohms, voltage 4.1, and here we see that we have a 20.5 amp requirement. Sorry for the blurriness on here, but I will set you guys up with a link for another Ohm's Law calculator, and there are plenty of free apps available for your phones for this. So at our 0.2 ohm build and 4.1 volts on our batteries, we have a 20.5 amp draw and an 84.5 watt draw. From this point, you want to check your specifications on your batteries. Make sure that you have a battery that is at least 20.5 amps capable, preferably 30 continuous. I highly recommend the Sony VTC5s. I will set you up a link for VTC5s. Go big or go home. Do not use batteries that are not rated for the amperage required by your build, or you risk overheating and venting your battery. This is why we want to be safe with our batteries. This is the way to be safe with your batteries. Thanks for watching.